If you're new here, thanks for joining us right now. We appreciate you.
Um, so we actually came out for dinner, and I had planned, like, I figured by the time live started, we would still be here. So I was like, not a big deal. We'll go ahead and sit outside and do it, while hanging out, eating with you guys. But they have the music blaring. Like, it is so loud. So I figured that's not a good idea to sit at the table. Thankfully, we finished eating just in the nick of time. We brought our beers with us to the car because we haven't finished yet. But then once we're done with you guys, we'll go back out there because we're gonna have some dessert.
Yep. That's the plan.
Yeah, but at least I wanted to come in here so that you can hear us and not the music. It's so loud.
It is loud. It's good music though.
Yeah, and it was good food. And it's good beer. So I'm having a summer ale. And what are you having?
I'm having a blueberry beer.
She's having a blueberry ale. It was just a tiny little splash. And it's pretty delicious. Both of them are pretty delicious. I didn't think she would go for the blueberry. I thought that would be mine.
That's good.
It's good. All right. So, let's talk about these last two vlogs that went up. So we're obviously hanging there in Thousand Trails Lynchburg, which is located in Gladys, Virginia. And, I kind of wish that we would have had a little bit more time here, because this is a really nice park. It's so big.
It is
and
big,
so spacious.
It's very woodsy.
It is very woodsy. The temps.
Very campy. Very woodsy.
Yeah. I feel like our site, and it kind of looks like the majority of the sites, are so spacious too. There's lots of area around you with lots of tree coverage around you, so there's lots of privacy.
Yeah. That like lake or pond, I don't know what to call it, in the middle.
Yeah, there's
That's
like
really
a
pretty
lake. Yeah, because they have the lake hike that you can do to like walk around the lake, and no vehicles allowed, so you can't really drive through it. You can take your golf cart, you can take your bikes. We never got around to doing the lake hike, but I am happy to say that we ended up having to rearrange our itinerary a little bit. So because we rearranged it so that we can visit our kid for his birthday, to be at a campground closer to him, we're going to end up going back to Lynchburg. So we'll be able to have another opportunity of scoping out that campground a little bit more, taking in the amenities, and the area, because we didn't do any activities like out and about.
Yeah. There's quite a few things we could do there, some hikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
For sure. So I'm looking forward to that too.
And it'll be warmer.
Yeah. The campground, I thought it was pretty unique that like the fire pits, most campgrounds have like the metal fire pit, and this one had like a whole bunch of bricks or rocks that formed the circle for the fire, and I thought that was just very rustic and unique and cool.
It's definitely campy.
Yeah, even though they did have metal ones, because our friends that were there with us, they requested one of the metal ones too, I think, so that they can do their campfire chili. So the majority of our time was hanging out with them. I don't know if I should say names. I guess first names doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's it.
Hi, May.
May and Virgil. So May's here already.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, May. And we spent our time basically just hanging out with them. Lots of eating. I'm sure we gained like 10 pounds for those 2 days.
Let's just say there was a lot of exercising afterwards. Lots of cardio.
Oh my God. May is a baker, so she made cornbread to go with the chili. It was so good.
She made Cuban bread.
So that we can have the next morning with breakfast. She made brownies.
I think I need a moment of silent meditation
just for the Cuban bread. Oh my God. Yeah, she made brownies. It was like a lemon pepper chicken that they did over the grill with sauteed veggies. So good. So moist and so good. So yeah, nonetheless, we were totally spoiled with delicious food.
Yeah. And company and conversation.
Yeah.
And love and acceptance, all those things.
Yeah. Lots of story sharing, the things that you do when you camp with friends. That's what happened here. It wasn't like a meetup of us meeting a couple of subscribers that we've never met before. It was as if we had known each other forever. It was as if we had already created bonds.
It was family.
Yeah. You sit down and you just get to storytelling and one thing leading to another and time flies. And before you know, it's like, oh my God, I have to go to work. Oh my God, we have to go to bed.
Yeah.
So it was a really good experience hanging out at Lynchburg and having some friends come and join us there. But the campground itself, even though we didn't do too much of the amenities, is there something about that campground that stood out to you that you liked?
Well, the laundry that I went to visit was tiny. I mean, literally, I think there was, I don't remember exactly, but tops 3 washers, 3 dryers, if not 2. And
I think it was 2.
And not even like, it wasn't, it was like a large closet or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was really tight. So that was a little shocking. And it was only coins. It only took coins. It didn't have an app, and it didn't have like a
card reader.
Yeah, like a card reader. So that was shocking.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The laundry was shocking because I caught it by surprise because when I was doing the tour and I decided to walk through the inside of the building, I was like, oh, there's the laundry here, and I thought, I'm like, oh my God, for such a huge campground, how can they only literally have 2 washers, 2 dryers, and it's like a separate little room from the rec hall.
I don't know if that's the only one. I don't know if there's another laundry room in there because I don't remember. I don't recall checking, but that was the one that was closest to where we were staying, and I was shocked. Yeah,
I didn't see any others. So when we were recording the whole tour, I didn't see any others. I did like it wasn't the first time. After leaving Florida, same thing happened at Oakwoods, Point South. The Oaks at Point South. The meal, they didn't charge us for meal. We had requested meal before arriving, and we would go pick it up at the office. This particular one didn't put it to the side at the rec house. I figured, okay, if I'm picking it up at the office, they're going to charge us a fee because they soared and stuff. You know, that's understandable.
Right.
But they didn't charge us for meal at all. So that's always really nice.
Yeah, because some Thousand Trails will charge you $5 a package. And so in that case, what I do is that I find an Amazon locker and I send whatever we buy to the Amazon locker.
Yes.
Because it seems a little steep to charge $5 a package.
Yeah, I agree with it being steep. I think for a campground that's enormous, like Oaks at South Point is small, so I don't think they should do it, but a big campground like TTO, it's understandable. That's a lot of meals to sort through.
Yeah, but they should charge you, like, if you're going to receive mail, they should charge you like one $5 fee and then give you something, a card, something that you paid for it, and then you can get the rest of your packages.
Oh, okay.
Not $5 a package.
Per package. Yeah, because sometimes you don't even know, like when you order from Amazon, if they're going to bundle all 3 things in one box, or if you're going to get 3 separate boxes.
Exactly.
So $15 to receive a shipment is steep. So, yeah.
So I send it to the locker.
Yeah, so I was very pleased and surprised to see that they weren't charging for meal. That made me very happy. I think the tennis court and pickleball court could really use some love.
Yeah, some of the park need a little love. There's a couple of areas where there's a wood deck or next, not by the rec room necessarily, but over by that patio that comes out towards
there's like a separate rec building or a structure that has the outside patio to sit on.
It's also a rec building because they have games in there and stuff too. And that building needs a little bit of love. Maybe change a couple of the rotted out wood planks or maybe a little paint also would help. But you guys know that for me, I want full hookups and I want to feel safe. And if I can get a pull through, I'm winning. So as far as my requirements are concerned, they have 5 stars. I feel safe. I have full hookups. Well, they have 4 stars because it wasn't a pull through.
Right, it wasn't a
4 stars. 4 stars. And I felt safe.
Right.
It was so because I mean we don't really go to the campgrounds for the amenities in the campground.
Right.
We go to the campgrounds so that we can explore the area around the campgrounds.
It's true.
We're there to explore those areas, to learn about those areas, to have fun in those areas, not to stay at the campground. So again, if I feel safe and I have full hookups, winning, And if it's a pull through, forget about it. The happiness is through the roof.
Hi, Virgil. Yeah, so your expectations are low. And it's kind of true. I mean, think back in the last like 4 years, if you guys have been following us that long, the vlogs that we do, how many vlogs do we do of us doing things in the campground? It's rare. Most of the time, it's us being out and about. So I totally get it. But still, it's still nice. Like, for example, one of the things that really bothered me, even though we weren't using it, so it shouldn't have bothered me, was going up to like the pool area and seeing that the pool was completely empty.
I don't think it was seasoned though.
If they opened for season, you're opening for the season, you should be fully open. Because now you're opening to expect campers to come in.
I don't agree with that because it was too cold to go into the pool and it's probably not a heated pool.
Dude, where are we at now? Because we just left Lynchburg. It's freezing and there's people in the pool. So just because it's cold for us, because we're Floridians, it's not cold for everybody.
But that was like May, something like that.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't even May. It was April. That's cold. That's really cold. We're in June now.
Well, I still feel like if you're opening for this season, you should have all of your amenities available. Mm-hmm. And then it's up to the camper whether they want to use it or not.
All right. We disagree.
That's okay.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that bothered me a bit. And yeah, I wouldn't have used it, so it shouldn't have bothered me, but still, I was like, it's cool though that I believe they had said that they had just dumped in, I forgot how many, like catfish and bass. The ranger told us when we were checking in. He's like, oh, we just loaded the lake with, and he told us the amount, like it was loaded with bass and catfish.
Yeah, he was very excited.
Yeah, he was. And you can obviously go fishing, but it would have been catch and release. So that would have been cool. We like fishing when we're at Pace River, so to sit there.
I wouldn't call that fishing. I would call that like throwing a fishing line and watching it come back. That's not fishing.
So it's fishing, not catching.
It's not even fishing. I don't even know what to call it.
I don't get the catch and release though. Like, I know there's a lot of people that fish for sport and that's what they do. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that's torture. You're going to catch the fish, you're going to injure it, you're going to pull it out of its environment, freak it out and traumatize it, hold it with your hands, which is creating even more trauma to yank that thing out and throw it back in the water. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's torture. So I'm not about the catch and release. If I'm catching it, you're gonna give me nutrients and sustain me, and I will honor your life, not torture you to throw you back in.
I agree with that.
Right? Yeah. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Well, some people like it.
You gotta have options.
You do. Absolutely. We'd love to hear what you guys think about the whole catch and release and fishing, because there's different mindsets out there on this opinion, and I'm not closed-minded. I'm up to listening, even though I may not agree. So I really don't know what else to say about the campground. I will say that there are different areas, that there is some elevation. I'm going from one loop to another.
Oh.
What?
Yes, I will say something about the campground.
Okay.
So I think, I don't remember if Quiet Town was at 10 or 11, but they did have some campers in golf carts with their music blaring, just riding around the campground.
Yeah. Was it a holiday that weekend? I don't think so.
I don't know. Could have been Memorial Day. No,
it wasn't Memorial Day. Mm-mm.
Maybe it was just a weekend.
Yeah.
It was a weekend, yeah. Because, weekenders behave a little different than full-timers. Mm-hmm. And then half-timers, part-timers behave a little different than full-timers, too.
Yeah.
So, I'm in my house. It's time to go to bed. It's quiet time. I'm in my house. So that's my mentality. If you're in your house, you don't want somebody driving through with their music blaring. But if you're out there for the weekend and you're having a great time and you're doing a campfire and you're with your friends, with your family, cooking up the s'mores, then
you're partying. You're away from work and the family and the environment.
Right. So they may have been weekenders.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm offending anyone that's a weekender.
No.
I don't mean it offensively. It's an observation.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that. It didn't go past midnight. I'll say that.
No, at least not.
Yeah.
So, cheers, Virgil and the neighbors. Thank you for coming in and meeting us for the first time. This is Lou. I'm Angie, and we just finished having dinner, and it was super loud out there. If not, we would have hung out with you guys outside at the dinner table having dessert after having our beer. But yeah, the music was way too loud, so we decided to pop into the car to do this, and then we'll go back out.
Thank you, Virgil. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah, if you decide, like, if you have friends, thankfully ours were right next to us. We were neighbors, and I believe they coordinated that. I was like, do you guys want to reach out to the office, or do you want us to reach out? So it all got coordinated, which was really nice, because if it would have been in completely different loops, it's far. There's 3 loops, and they're literally far from each other.
They are.
And it's a lot of elevations too, and it's all rock, which Lexi wasn't happy about.
Yeah.
Lexi, our rat terrier Chihuahua, does not like walking. Cheers. Does not like walking on rocks. She is a little too prissy. We've had her the entire 16 years. So she's a little malcriada, and that's okay.
Lucy doesn't like it either.
Lucy doesn't like it that much either, no. Yeah, I think you're right.
Little tiny paws, and the rocks go in between, and it hurts.
Yeah, of course. And there's
neighbors.
They've experienced that at a couple of campgrounds, and at one point we end up either cutting the walks short, or we just carry them back, because I don't want them to be uncomfortable walking.
Yeah. And some of those rocks are sharp.
Yeah.
So imagine you walking barefooted on the rocks for the same thing they're doing. Yeah. So some of them are sharp and they hurt. And
a lot of those rocks, those gray rocks, actually get hotter than the asphalt. And asphalt as it is, that's a lot of smoke from the boat. The asphalt gets really hot, and I never really caught that until she did one time. I think it was in New Orleans that you had touched the ground, and you're like, oh my God, the rocks are hotter than the asphalt. And then I've been testing it here and there with my feet every so often, and sure enough, it's crazy that they are prone to getting hotter. I don't know. So now that we've talked about the campground a little bit, and we talked about our lovely friends that spoiled us to death, and we had a great time talking about talking with them. So much so, we've planned a little caravan for next year. They're going to be joining us. Since we're going to be coming back to Lynchburg, and this vlog is about Lynchburg, what time is it?
6:17.
Oh! Did you do any type of research? Is there something that you want to do in that area? So
what area?
In Lynchburg?
No. I haven't done any research.
No research yet. Okay. No. Not yet.
Actually, I did. That's wrong. I did, because I sent Virgil and May a whole itinerary, but I couldn't possibly tell you off the top of my head what that is.
Okay. I do know that we were driving through something, and there was like a whole, it was like mountainous and grassy, and I don't know if that was the abbreviation of a school. You said you wanted to go up there.
No idea.
You forgot. We drove it only once we left the campground, because Lou was getting a new phone, and she's like, "Oh, that's the area I wanted us to go to," and I don't remember.
No idea.
But it's a long time from now. Other than that, those are the 2 things that happened in the last 2 vlogs. Was the campground tour, which we like the campground and look forward to seeing it again, and then hanging out with our friends, which we look forward to seeing again next year. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen sooner.
That'd be nice.
It might happen sooner. We say that we may have thrown out there to a couple of other friends if they wanted to caravan with us, but nothing is etched in stone, so we haven't told you guys yet, because we're not sure. Right. Okay. It just like fluttered through my brain. I don't have anything else to go over in this live, because that we covered the last 2 videos with you guys, and I really don't recall anything else. Since May and Virgil are here with us, and they did experience this campground actually more than we did, because they went and hung out in that open area by the lake.
I think they went to social.
Yeah, they went to the ice cream social. We did, and I don't because we had to walk the girls, and I think something else. If you want to chime in the comments and mention anything that you'd like for us to touch on, or tell us, or tell our viewers about, totally welcome. Before we close this out, since we're not making it the entire 30 minutes.
Well, it's not a planned 30 minutes.
No.
It could be 30 minutes. It could be 20. It could be an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just this time we don't have a lot to say. And it's better to say what you're going to say than to try to extend it and make it
be redundant.
fluffy.
Yeah. No point in being redundant and just filling in things. You know, people have things to do, and it's very nice that you tuned in to either catch us live or decided to come and watch the playback. That is so much appreciated that you're taking time out of your schedule to just see us.
Buttercup says the walking trail around the lake was great.
So they did do the lake. She did tell me that they were going to go walk around the lake.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, it's a beautiful area. Standing by the patio of the, I guess, the second rec room. I don't know what to call it. I thought taking a chair there and drinking coffee would have been a great experience, too. Yeah, starting off your morning, just chill. Yeah. You know, relax, sit there, enjoy taking the view, and then stay. Yeah. I'm all about that. Yeah, we try to do that everywhere there's some water in the campground. Because we've done that even in Orlando. We found a little hidden area by the lake, and we went and had coffee there. So anytime there's water accessible from the campground, we try to do that because it's a great way to start your day. A body of water. There's always water. Yeah, of course. So I guess we're just going to wrap it up here. Thank you, May and Virgil and the neighbors for coming and meeting us for the first time. He's saying something. It was very comfortable. RV campground provided space between RVs. Yeah. It was very spacious amongst the sides. Thank you guys all for coming and joining us and watching the replay. If you're not subscribers of ours, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The very next video, we will be entering Pennsylvania. So actually, I think the next video might be a cooking vlog. Yeah, I think so. The next one may be a cooking vlog, and then after that, we're entering Pennsylvania. So stick around so that you can see what it is that I am going to whip up for us to eat, and then after that, hang out with us our first day in Pennsylvania. Bye, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribers. See you next Friday. Bye.